toe. Never doubt the zone. Make you eat the crow. Laughing in your face. Laughing to the base. She can keep the push.
What's up, guys? My name's Ish San Juan, and this is the Hard to Handle Sports Podcast. The Cowboys bring back McCarthy. What are they doing? Every single Cowboy fan I talked to was like, nah, this has to be it. He has to be gone. It's over. But they bring him back. We'll touch on that. Real Madrid loses the Madrid derby in the Copa del Rey. They are eliminated. Reigning champions out. Atletico Madrid through. We got to give props to Atletico. Also, we'll give our predictions on the divisional round of the NFL. A lot of good matchups. A lot of teams that weren't supposed to be there that are still there. I'm looking at the Bucks. I'm looking at the Texans. We'll do our predictions. All of that on this episode of the Hard to Handle Sports Podcast. Let's get to it. All right, so what are the Cowboys doing? What is Jerry Jones doing? Every single Cowboy fans that I talk to, even neutral fans, every Cowboy hater, even the most Cowboy hater was like, yep, he has to go. No one was really even joking around about him staying, about him keeping his job. It was just one of those things where everyone kind of understood that this has to be it. It's over. There's no going back. You can't lose to the Packers. First year starting quarterback making his playoff debut, and you lose. Like, you can't do that. You can't lose to a first year quarterback making his first playoff appearance. You just can't. There's no other way to put it, especially when you won 13 games, when you look very strong at home. You haven't lost at home in over 2 years. And the Packers pretty much put your pants down and just do whatever they want with you, man. They pulled your pants down. Since the opening quarter, since their first drive, there was no response. There was no heartbeat from the Cowboys. They put up some empty stats at the end of the game, and it was just atrocious. And call it unfair, call it whatever you want, but there's no way McCarthy could stay as a head coach. There's no way. There was no way. It was a foregone conclusion. Everybody was talking about Bill Belichick going to the Cowboys, and honestly, how is that going to work with Jerry Jones? Bill Belichick was probably going to tell him in a nice way to shut up, to let him talk to the media, to not say anything, to not add more pressure to the team, to not add more, cameras, more hot takes to the Cowboys, to just let them be. But, I think Jerry Jones doesn't want that. He wants to be in the spotlight. When he wins, it's going to hit so much harder if they actually win one, with him being the main guy that talks to the media, with him staying the same way that he's always been. But if Bill Belichick would have won or gone there and then won, I think it takes some of the attention, some of the credit for Jerry Jones. It kind of puts the blame on him too. If you think about it, like if the Cowboys have been with Jerry Jones for over 20 years, going on 30 years, and they never win with him. And then as soon as Jerry Jones takes a step back, hires Bill Belichick takes kind of control of that team and they win. I think it's a bad look for Jerry Jones. I don't think Jerry Jones wants that. So although it's written in the stars, it was probably the best decision that could have happened to the Cowboys to fire Mike McCarthy, take advantage of Bill Belichick becoming available, and you get one of the best coaches, if not the GOAT. It's a little debatable now with his last few years, but you get possibly the greatest coach of all time into your team. With that team, it could have been bad for the league. It could have been bad for the league. Now the Cowboys are going to run it back. I feel like no one believes that this team could win, especially with Dak Prescott about to cost them $60 million. They're about to make him the highest paid player ever, or they're going to let him walk. It's just sad. I'm sad for Cowboy fans. Not really. I don't really care for Cowboy fans, but I do know a few, and I know they're pretty sad. They're pretty much used to it. They're feeling very, very defeated. But I know Cowboy fans, and I know how they are. I know next year they're going to start believing in the team again. They're going to be putting their chest out. They're going to feel that they could win the Super Bowl. And I'll be there. I will be there no matter what when they inevitably fall in the playoffs to some lowly playoff team again, or they play one of the good teams and they get absolutely routed. I will be there for that. I think Jerry Jones is just accepting. He brings in the haters. I think Jerry Jones and the decisions that he makes just make it that much funnier when the Cowboys crash and burn. Because everyone kind of said Bill Belichick could fix this team, or it'll be a completely different vibe. And he could make that defense like really elite, not just like fake elite when they play bad teams. He can make them like legit, like a legit defense that could carry you to the playoffs, where you don't have to throw the ball really, and the defense, drags you the whole game, and then you win ugly games. But with that offense and Lamb and stuff, I was like, damn, if Bill Belichick goes there, it could be bad. But like I said, Jerry Jones wants the credit. Bill Belichick goes there, it takes credit away from Jerry Jones. Probably why it didn't happen. Mike McCarthy. Some people have said, he doesn't mind just doing whatever Jerry Jones tells him. That's probably why he's still there. It is what it is. Cowboy fans try to make it through another year. Like, I can't even imagine losing like that in the playoffs that many years in a row. Well, actually, I could. I used to be a Charger fan before they left San Diego. So I'm right there with you guys, Cowboy fans. Or I was. But now I am a little sad today because Real Madrid lose to Atletico Madrid 4-2 in the Copa del Rey, round of 16. Real Madrid, the reigning champions. Real Madrid, who are coming off winning a title this past weekend, beating Barcelona 4-1 in the Super Cup, in the Spanish Super Cup final. I was expecting Madrid to win this week against Atletico, but it is what it is. Atletico is a good team. Gotta give them credit. Real Madrid, to their credit, every time that they went down, they came back. They forced the game into overtime, and then we got caught in a counterattack. We get caught on a brilliant play by Griezmann, and then at the end, they get us in the counterattack. 4-2, game over. It is what it is. Yeah, I mean, what does this mean for Real Madrid? Realistically, or honestly, after beating Barcelona the way we did last weekend, I was looking my sights at taking everything this year. I was like, we're gonna win Champions League, La Liga, Copa del Rey. We already won the Spanish Super Cup. We might take everything this year. But I should have known. We played lowly Barcelona. I should have tempered my expectations, because at the end of the day, we're just beating a team in crisis right now, a small equipo chico. We just beat a small team this weekend. I should have known. I should have tempered my expectations. Now we lose to Atletico Madrid. Very upsetting. And, I hope we win La Liga. And then Champions League, obviously, that's our tournament. We're the kings of Europe. We're the best team when it comes to Champions League. But obviously, that's going to be a fight. It's not guaranteed that we win it. It's not guaranteed that we go deep. So without the Copa del Rey, it could just be a La Liga season. La Liga and Spanish Super Cup, which, for regular teams, that's a great season. 2 trophies. For Real Madrid, it's okay. If we somehow miss out on La Liga and we just leave with the Spanish Super Cup, it's a bad year. It's a bad year for us. And yeah, so basically I went from this weekend thinking that we're going to win everything. La Liga, Super Cup, Champions League, everything. But now, obviously, we can't win Copa del Rey. La Liga, we still have a good footing on La Liga. If Girona ever goes back down to earth, we could be running away with it. We'll see how that plays out. But yeah, credit to Atletico. They have a good team. They were at home. They could beat us. Nothing wrong with losing to Atletico. And Diego Simeone, he's a good coach, good team. Obviously, they're our crosstown rivals, but they're a good team. Griezmann's a baller. He's a baller. He's a baller. It didn't go that well with Barcelona, but that could have been more Barcelona than him. He's back with Atletico. He's killing it. Good dribble, puts it in the top left corner, curls it around our keeper, and it is what it is. It is what it is. A little upsetting, not gonna lie. I kind of had my sights set on winning everything this year, but with Copa del Rey being out of the picture, now we could focus on La Liga and Champions League. Mainly, I do want to win La Liga. That's our home league title. We gotta win it. But I'm eyeing that Champions League. I think we could still win it. We could make a deep run. I'm excited. What do you guys think? Is this a bad defeat I want to say Ancelotti has his job safe, but you never know with Real Madrid. You never know. Like Real Madrid, we demand a lot of our coaches. We demand a lot of our teams. So I'm just thinking in a scenario where for some reason we slip up in La Liga. We lose like in the semifinals or quarterfinals of Champions League. We're already out of Copa del Rey. Is a season with just the Spanish Super Cup enough for Ancelotti to keep his job? Sounds crazy. Like I love that man. But I think La Liga and Super Cup, he keeps his job for sure. Just Super Cup, I don't know. There'll probably be some rumors about him leaving. Maybe he ends up getting fired and and ending up with the Brazil job like it was rumored. But don't want to be too reactionary. I think Real Madrid are still in a good spot. I think a double is still in play with La Liga and Champions League, but obviously super upsetting to get bounced out of Copa del Rey, especially by Atletico Madrid. It does suck. It does suck because for them, like this is their Champions League final. Like they hate losing to us, and they lose to us a lot in finals and big moments. So for them to win this one, I know they're enjoying that, and it hurts. It hurts. I wanted to get that back to back, but it is what it is. We go on. We got more games coming up. We got Champions League coming up, and Hala Madrid. Just one title we couldn't win this year. I still believe we can win La Liga and Champions League. To conclude, let's just quickly go through these divisional round playoff games. Let's start off hot. Let's go with probably the game of the week. The Bills versus the Chiefs. Mahomes versus Josh Allen. Who's going to win? Who's going to go to the AFC Championship? This has probably been the most watched, most hyped QB matchup of the last few years. Either Mahomes and Allen or Mahomes and Burrow have been the two marquee QB matchups last few years. Probably Burrow took the lead last few years, but Josh Allen, everyone remembers that divisional round classic with where they changed the overtime rules and Mahomes drove the Chiefs down with like 17 seconds to tie the game to send it overtime. Everyone remembers that classic. Who do I think is gonna win this one? I don't know, man. The Bills are on a super nice hot streak. They won 6 in a row. Josh Allen probably had his best game in a month against the Steelers, but it was without TJ Watt. So you got to take that into consideration. In the end, I think Mahomes wins this weekend and just kills all the Bills' Mafia morale. He probably kills a little piece inside of Josh Allen this weekend. He gets this win this weekend and just kills the soul and the spirit of Bills Mafia and Josh Allen. And then the Bills go into a mini rebuild. They fire their coach. They might move, Stephon Diggs. We got to figure out what the hell is going on with him the second half of the season. And, could that be the next landing spot for Bill Belichick now that the Cowboys job looks like it's not going to become available? Like, I think that's what happens. I think Josh Allen just finishes this chapter, finishes this battle that has been going on with Josh Allen. He closes that book. He closes that chapter. He's like, you know what? Take a year or two to rebuild, change your team up a little bit, and then we can meet again. But I think Mahomes will go into Bills Mafia Stadium and get the dub this weekend. That's my prediction. Pacheco goes off, establishes a run. Rice has come on the last few weeks, last half of the season, and Mahomes and the Chiefs get it done. And it'll be crazy because it'll be in Buffalo. The Bills finally get this game at home in the playoffs. But I don't know. I think Mahomes is destined to play against Lamar Jackson in the next round to really duke it out. And let's just go to that game now. So now the Ravens versus the Texans. I think Lamar Jackson will finally get to an AFC Championship. He will beat CJ Stroud, and it will set up this once-in-a-lifetime matchup against Mahomes. Because at that point, I think they will have announced who's the MVP. Should be Lamar Jackson. Mahomes, 2-time MVP, the youngest QB ever to win 2 MVPs. Lamar Jackson at that time against the current youngest quarterback to win 2 MVPs, duking it out for a chance to go to the Super Bowl. And, QB, the best QB title. I think that's what's going to happen. I think Mahomes gets through Allen, he closes that chapter, and then he has a new challenger waiting for him in Lamar Jackson. He gets it through. Although it's been, by the time they play this weekend, it'll be 3 weeks since their last snap. I think Lamar Jackson's just that locked in. He's a better thrower than he's ever been. They do have Andrews back. The other tight end, Isaiah Likely, has been pretty serviceable since Andrews went down. We got good wide receivers in Flowers and OBJ, and I just think this is it. This is the time that Lamar Jackson wins, goes to the AFC Championship, and then when we get there, I'll make my prediction for that. But I do think Lamar Jackson at least gets there this year. Then we'll see what happens. But Mahomes closes that chapter with Josh Allen. Lamar Jackson wins his second MVP, gets over CJ Stroud and the Texans, and they set up a just ridiculous matchup in the AFC Championship game. But CJ Stroud puts up a fight. I don't think it's going to be easy. I think CJ Stroud and the Texans are going to go to Baltimore and they're going to put up a fight. Like, I have CJ Stroud already as like my third or fourth quarterback in the league. He's that good. I've been that impressed by him. He's a dog. He's generational. He's everything people thought Trevor Lawrence was going to be. He's just commanding the pocket, commanding the team, the offense, the huddle. Like, he just carries himself so good, from the game to the press conferences to any interview you see of him, going into any show, whoever he talks to, whether it be Pat McAfee, whether it be an on-field reporter, the press in the press conference, whoever he talks to, he just looks super mature and composed, eloquent. He looks like what a franchise quarterback should look like. So with all that being said, I think he goes into Baltimore and he balls out. He concludes the best rookie QB season ever with a bang, with the loss against the Ravens. But I think he puts on the show. He might even have a better game than Lamar Jackson, but Lamar Jackson has that beast defense behind him. He might even outduel Lamar Jackson. But I think the Ravens are getting through. The Ravens are getting through no matter what. I think it's their year. I feel like it's their year. But I think CJ Stroud balls out. He goes out with his head held high, and he, finishes his rookie year with a great showing against the Ravens. But unfortunately, they lose. So the NFC side, I think, is a little more cutthroat. I think the Bucs are the worst team remaining in the NFL. Not taking anything away from them, but I think they're the worst team. I think the Lions are low-key the team of destiny, and everyone's behind the Lions. Everyone's behind Dan Campbell. Everyone likes Jared Goff revenge, story, comeback season, comeback last few years. One coach gave up on him, another one believes him. You're everything the Lions, or you're good enough for Detroit, is what Dan Campbell said. You're good enough for Detroit. Goosebumps when I heard that. Such a dope coach, such a dope story, Goff. And I think they get through the Bucs. They go to the NFC Championship. I got the Lions beating the Buccaneers. And the last matchup, this is probably the most controversial, the most the one that could have the craziest storylines when it comes to Monday. Because obviously the Chiefs and the Bills QB storylines throughout. Ravens, CJ Stroud, that one could have crazy storylines. Actually, a lot of these could have crazy storylines. But if the 49ers lose to the Packers and they miss out on another Super Bowl run with this stacked roster, I think that's the leading topic on most shows on Monday. I think that's what most shows open up on Monday with. No matter what happens in the other games, if the 49ers lose to the Packers, I think that's the first topic that most shows are going to open up with. Now, do I think they're going to lose? I mean, I don't know. I live here in the Bay Area, and it's going to rain on Saturday. It's going to rain. It looks like it's going to be ugly weather. It's going to rain tomorrow, Friday. It's going to rain. It's going to rain on Friday. It's going to rain on Saturday. It's going to rain on Sunday. It's going to rain on Monday. So the likelihood that it rains during the game is pretty high because it's going to rain the whole weekend, 4 days in a row. That's what the forecast says. Who does that help? Probably the Packers, who play in cold weather, who their team is used to playing in inclement weather. But the 49ers are going to have their fans behind them. So, you know, and they do have the better team. Do they have the better quarterback? I don't think so. Purdy had a great season, but I think Love has made such an ascension, such an improvement the second half of the season that I would say Love is a better quarterback right now. I do have this simple rule. Usually in the playoffs, I go for the quarterback, the team that has the best quarterback. In my opinion, Love is better than Purdy right now. But do I see it, man? Are the Packers the team of destiny? That's the real question. Like, if they get through the 49ers, who's to say they don't beat the Lions in the NFC Championship game? But unfortunately, I am going to have to go. I'm not a 49er fan. I'm a free agent fan. I will have to go with the 49ers. They get through the Packers. I think the Packers put a valiant effort. I don't think the 49ers I don't think it gets away from the Packers. I think they're in it to the end, in the rain. But in the end, I think Purdy makes enough plays. It's going to come down to like Packers making a field goal to make it a one-possession game, and the 49ers have to run out the clock. McCaffrey gets those couple first downs. Game over. 49ers escape. Bring the Lions to town next week. I think that's the scenario that I think plays out. But so those are my teams. I think Ravens, Chiefs, Lions, 49ers. Those are my picks for the divisional round in the NFL playoffs. Let me know what you guys think. That should do it for this episode of the Hearts and Handle Sports Podcast. As always, if you made it to the end, I appreciate you. Have a great day. Peace.
Slide no sudden moves. On my goons are stretching. And I'm taxing for the feet. On my damn collections.